you cruising through life not always knowing what direction you were headed? Let Live on Purpose with Dr. Paul Jenkins be your guide. Live on Purpose will give you insights into your life and show you how you can become the driver and captain of it. No more aimless wandering. By learning the principles that govern happiness and wealth, you will be able to make personal progress that you have only dreamed possible. And now, here's your host, the shrink who expands your life, Dr. Paul.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Live on Purpose Radio. This is Dr. Paul, the shrink who expands your life, bringing you another episode of Live on Purpose Radio. As always, we have a remarkable guest here in studio today. I want to introduce him right off the bat because we've got a lot to talk about. This is Mr. Mike Akagi.
Aloha.
Aloha. Welcome, Mike.
Thank you, Dr. Paul. It's a pleasure to be here.
Thank you so much for joining me. I'm not sure exactly where to start with this introduction. Maybe I'll start with how I know you.
Okay.
Does that sound all right?
You got it.
I met you about a year ago.
Mm-hmm.
Well, not quite a year ago. It was last spring. We're recording this right now in January of 2009. Last spring sometime in 2008, I ran into you in the context of a meeting where a mutual acquaintance of ours introduced us, and that is Mary Louise Zeller.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Mary Louise, you listeners might remember from an episode of Live on Purpose Radio that has been actually a very popular episode. Mary Louise was featured in a movie called Alaig. She has a very inspiring story. She's 66 years old this year. She's a 6th-degree black belt in Taekwondo. She is defying all of the traditions of aging. Is that fair to say,
Oh,
Mike?
absolutely.
And you and Mary Louise have quite a history.
Mm-hmm.
Tell us a little bit, in terms of this introduction, tell us a little bit about the book that you and Mary Louise co-authored.
Yeah, so Mary and Louise and I go back over 20 years. We've met through an acquaintance, and we just knew when we met each other that there was something there, like good, that we had a lot of things in common. And Mary Louise has couched that in the phrase, we decided not to participate in the decline of aging. And that's prevalent in our book, that kind of wording. And so we knew that about each other right from the very beginning. And so it's been really amazing. We're both happily married, have families, grandchildren, yet both in our, I'll be 60 in 2010. And so we're both, up there in the age group, but we both participate in our sports and in our lives like we mean it, on purpose, if you will. And so that's how we originally met each other. We have a mutual interest in martial arts. Hers has been in Taekwondo. Mine has been in Karate. And we had that in common. And, of course, our zest for life and our commitment to live life to its fullest and to watch nutrition and to always be looking for products that helped us in our not participating in the decline of aging. In other words, we wanted to be youthful. And so I coined a phrase in our book called youthing. In other words, everybody else is aging, but you really can get younger every day.
You're youthing.
That's right, instead of older. And you can prove it on paper. Like if you're running and this year you ran a 10K faster than you did last year, I don't know what else to call that. You train better, harder, faster, and your body's in better shape. And that's getting younger. And so those are the type of things we addressed in our book. And it's called Secrets of the Fountain of Youth. Both of us don't look or act our age, nor will we ever.
That is true. That's, you know what, and that's something, Mike, that has attracted me to the two of you and to some other people that we play with. Because, and when I talked to Mary Louise, we talked about this tribal culture where there's some kind of an unwritten law somewhere that you're supposed to do this aging thing, right?
Yeah.
And the tribe still sends me invitations to participate in all that. But I really like the way, and the title of this show is Live on Purpose.
Right.
We'll figure out how you're going to do that.
Yeah.
And are you just going to live by default, or are you going to live on purpose?
Yeah. I was great minds think alike. That's exactly what I was going to say. As you were talking, I was thinking, yeah, that's why I'm on this show, because it's a perfect match. Living on purpose. We decided a long time ago. I remember when I was in school, I watched a movie called Run Dick, Run Jane, and I was in terrible shape. I was in my senior year, and I had to take one more PE class, okay? And I was overweight. I'm 5'8", and I weighed about 170 pounds because for 4 years, all I'd been doing was studying and hardly anything else. But I saw this movie called Run Dick, Run Jane, and there was a man they interviewed on the movie. And he was, it was in Golden Gate Park in San Francisco. And the guy was 106 years old, and he was still running 6 miles a day. And they interviewed him, and he looked older, but he didn't look 106. He looked like he was probably in his 80s. And he was keen, and his brain was just as sharp, and his speech was just as normal as you and me. And I saw that, and I remember distinctly declaring, I'm going to be 107 running 7 miles a day.
There you go.
That's really where it started. I distinctly, and that's never left my mind. And so as I've aged and as I've watched things happen in life, I just decided that I wasn't going to participate in the decline of aging, that I was going to be youthful, keep my body in shape. And in order to do that, you have to abide by principles and laws that govern the body. There are a few people who defy that, who live to be old, who smoke and drink, but they're the exception, not the rule. And so that's why Mary Louise and I hit it off, and we wrote this incredible book called Secrets of the Fountain of Youth. How do you stay young? How do you keep going and have a body? I think Mary Louise puts it this way all the time. How do you have a body that keeps up with your dreams, that does whatever you want it to do well into whatever age you are?
And what a fantastic example. We've already talked about Mary Louise a little bit on this program, but it astounds me that she kind of discovered this stuff at a time when some people are starting this aging process.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
She didn't even start Taekwondo until she was, I think, 45 years old.
Yeah.
And she's a world champion. And this is amazing. Now, your sport, you share that martial arts thing, but you're a runner also.
Yeah.
Talk a little bit more about that and what you're doing with that.
Okay. So very quickly, just a history. When I was a little kid, for some reason, I just loved to run. I was 5 years old, and I was out running half mile. People thought I was crazy, but I just loved it, and I never lost that love. When I got into high school, I was a great baseball player at all sports. I played football, baseball, basketball. I was high scorer on our team, and everything, but my real love was running. So finally, in my senior year in high school, I ran cross-country, indoor track, and outdoor track, and I've been running ever since. And I do marathons. I've run the St. George, Utah Marathon 23 times. I've run Boston several times and several other marathons, and I just love to run. And it's helped, me live my dreams. I mean, if there's one thing that can keep you healthy, as you know, and everybody knows, it's running. And I just have a love for it. A lot of people hate it. It was their punishment. You're on a football team, you goof up and they make you run a lap, right? Well, not for me. That was I'd rather be doing that than out there getting beat up.
My son over here, Adam, is running the soundboard, and we ought to turn your mic on, Adam. You could participate in this if you wanted to. He's on the cross country team. He's one of the top cross country runners here in our town at the high school level. And there's this shirt that circulates a little bit in the cross country culture, and on the back of it says my sport is your sport's punishment.
That's great.
That's exactly what you're talking about there.
Absolutely. And so I've just kept that up, and over the years things started declining, and I started feeling some aches and pains here and there, and that's when I started looking for nutritional supplements that would and started watching my diet, like what I eat. And I'm not fanatical. I think sugar is poison, but yet on a birthday I'll eat a piece of birthday cake and ice cream. I try not to be, fanatical to the extent where it gets obnoxious. Like, watch it and reward yourself. Like, nothing I love better than a good bowl of ice cream, but I just don't do it every day. It's more like once every month or 2 or 3. And so I've adjusted my diet. I watch what I eat. I've studied the body. I also study myself. I try eating things, and I know what's good for me. I know what works for me and then what doesn't. And then I'm always experimenting with nutritionals. And I think I've tried everything legal on the planet as far as
and the other stuff we won't talk about, right?
Right.
Well, you've triggered my thinking about a couple of things. We're coming up on a break here in just a few minutes, but it occurs to me as we're having this conversation that as you become aware that there's another way out there besides whatever is traditional or whatever is the default mode that most people follow, that there's a process then you can go through to educate yourself, to increase your awareness, and to start doing things on purpose.
Right. That's exactly it.
You've mentioned nutritional supplements, products, and I think we ought to talk a little bit about that as we get into our discussion today. But there's other things that are a little more hidden that I want to make explicit so that we can talk about those too. It's not just what you take into your body.
Right.
As a coach, because you coach running now at the University of Hawaii, or at Brigham Young University, Hawaii, the Hawaii campus of BYU, and in some high schools. And also that mindset is important.
Right.
What you're thinking, and also what you do, your behaviors. So we'll tie all 3 of those together as we come back.
Great.
Thank you for joining me for the Live on Purpose radio podcast. It is truly an honor to be a part of your prosperity team. Please visit my website, drpaul.org, to get connected with other tools for you and your family. There you will find links to my weekly e-zine, Empower, Harnessing the Power of the Mind, and to the free Parental Power teleconference that I host every week with my wife, Vicki. You can also check out upcoming events or pick up powerful information products. Feel free to contact me directly with questions, comments, or to book me for your company or private event. Email me through drpaul@liveonpurposeradio.com.
In today's world, people have become much more conscious of their health and wellness. Finding new and effective ways to combat the effects of disease, aging, and poor nutrition is more important than it has ever been as we look to improve our own life and the lives of those we love. Kyani is a rapidly growing nutritional supplement company that is marketing in over 20 countries. Kyani's products combine the nutritional benefits of well-known superfruits with Nobel Prize-winning research and breakthrough science. Not only does Kyani help to improve the health and wellness of families, but through the amazing business opportunity that it offers, people like me have been able to create financial freedom. Kyani has the power to change your life, regardless of where you are or what your needs may be. Whether you are new to the network marketing industry or a seasoned veteran, you will find that Kyani has what you've been looking for. A well-financed, growing company with proven management to generate immediate income and the potential to allow normal people to succeed if they are willing to put in the time and effort.
Kyani is a proud sponsor of Live on Purpose Radio. To learn more or to join our exciting team, please visit liveonpurpose.mykyaniLife.com. That's liveonpurpose.mykyaniLife.com. Okay, Mike. Secrets of the Fountain of Youth. So you've discovered it, huh?
I really have.
And I was kind of leading into it just before we went into our break, that there are multiple facets to this.
Absolutely.
It's no, you've mentioned some products, and why don't we take a few minutes to talk about that for just a minute? Okay. This is something that you listeners, as you're coming in from that last break, you heard a commercial for Kyani. Kyani is a company that distributes nutritional products. And it happens to be one that you and I are associated with.
Right.
But there's a reason why you and Mary Louise got involved in this company, and it went back to all kinds of research and experience that you've had in what you're taking into your body and what kinds of effects that has. Do you want to talk about that just a little bit?
Sure, absolutely. There's so it's so multifaceted that I don't think we could talk about all of it on your show. That's why we wrote a book. But there are some key fundamental things about life itself, about the body, about everything that we're already discussing. But one of the most important things to the body is nutrition. And even when you buy fresh, quote unquote, vegetables from the store, they've been sitting on in the refrigerators for usually a month or two or three. And so we're totally inadequate in our nutritional intake. And I don't care if you watch what you eat. I don't care if you go to the organic place or whatever else you do. We're still deficient. And there's my quest in my adult life has been to provide the body with the nutrition it needs to be healthy. Disease is just a result of abusing the body. There's no other explanation for disease. It's not random. It's not because, this person is genetically inclined to do this. It's years and years and years of improper nutrition. Therefore, proper nutrition can more quickly repair and get you back to where you want to be. That's what I've discovered in life. That's one of the secrets of the Fountain of Youth, that the body will repair itself faster than you have damaged it over years and years. So you take, 20 years of improper diet and ugliness and fat and overweight and all kind of health problems, and the body is so miraculous that you can change all that within months, sometimes within weeks of giving it what it's supposed to have. So it literally is miraculous. It has to be created by God. It's the most healing and amazing thing there is the body, to watch what it does. If you were an alien and just came and watched the human body and you were some other sort, you would be amazed. It would be a miracle for you to watch what it does. So nutrition has been a key focus for me from when I was 20-something years old. And so I've been on a quest, not just in writing the book, but in my life, to find nutrition in every way, shape, or form that can help the body repair itself and keep it young. We're genetically designed. This is scientifically documented now, new research, that we're scientifically designed. I mean, our bodies are designed to live 175 years right now, exactly right now, with current research has declared that the human body should live 175 years. So what are we doing? We must be doing an awful lot of wrong things.
Well, we're buying into a different theory, I think, Mike.
And so that nutrition thing becomes phenomenally important. And everybody out there should just recognize that proper nutrition is the key to health and well-being, period. And given our diets, given the condition of restaurants and grocery stores and everything else, I've been on a quest to find something else. I believe I've tried almost every natural, legal product out there to see what it would do to my body. My body is my test tube, is my laboratory. And so I've tried different things. I've tried eating things. I've tried almost every diet out there. There are certain diets. I tried the Nathan Pritikin diet for about 6 months, and that is absolutely zero sugar and zero fat. It's the hardest thing a human being can ever do. I was actually able to stay on that diet for 6 months, and that was a test of my discipline. And so you really can't eat out. You can't eat any starch. You can't eat any sugar. You can't eat any oil, fat anyway, not oil, but fat. So basically what you're relegated to is vegetables and fruits, and you can't even eat more than 5 fruit a day because it has too much fructose in it.
Wow.
And on that diet for 6 months, my body, this was back when I was about 35 years old, and my body absolutely responded to that diet. It was phenomenal.
Really?
I was going out doing workouts down. I was living here in Utah County, and I was doing workouts at the BYU track with Paul Cummings and people who are way faster runners than I was. But I was actually able to do. We were doing 400 meter repeats, And we were blasting it. Adam will know this. We were running 65s, 12 to 14 400s at 65 to 70 pace. It was craziness. And here I am 30-something years old, and I was able to keep up with the likes of Paul Cummings, who is one of the greatest milers BYU has ever known. Okay.
Wow.
And
so you saw some very distinct effects on your body, on your performance.
Phenomenal.
As you
stuff.
changed your diet.
Yeah. And I was able to the next day come back and not, being dying, aches and pains and muscle strains and all that. So it was pretty phenomenal. But let me tell you, it was the hardest thing I've ever done. I have mentally, it was the hardest thing I've ever tried.
You know what? People just don't stay on diets.
Yeah.
They just don't.
Yeah. If you can imagine, you cannot eat any sugar whatsoever. None. No fat whatsoever. None. I was eating this stuff called Jack Sprat bread, and they shouldn't even call it bread. It was the worst stuff you had in your life.
Really?
It was devoid of any sugar and any fat. It was like unleavened bread.
Sounds like a cow chip would be more tasty.
Yeah, exactly. But so then along those lines, so all the time since then, I've been looking for nutritional supplements that could do that for the body without having to go through the rigor, right?
Yeah,
and you know
gotcha.
what? Mary Louise and I really found it in Kyani products, and that's why we're here. I'm not here trying to sell anything. I'm here.
No, that's not the purpose of the show today.
On purpose, to get people to live on purpose. And if you're living on purpose, you will absolutely try these products because they do everything that the body needs to do as a supplement. There isn't anything else out there. And I've looked at almost everything out there at some point in my life that holds a candle to this. It's not that they're just better than everything else. They're heads above. Mm-hmm. And basically what I found is they not only provide the body with 100% of the nutritional value that it needs, but it provides it with the other things that we don't know that go on in the body down at the cellular level that cause us to be able to heal, to be able to get rid of aches and pains. Our three products, the three Kyani products put together all under one roof, make this the most powerful set of nutritional products there are. And like I said, I've tried everything else out there. And when you put these three products, here's what happened to me. I went through a series of about 15 years of trying to figure out what would work in my body nutritionally, and I tried various different things, and some things really work good, and I could name you off a list of products that work.
Now, Mike, can I just interject something here, because I've talked to a number of people about things like this, and really the health and wellness industry is huge. You and I talked to someone who was referring to Paul Zane Pilzer, who is an author. He lives here locally in Park City, and one of the nation's leading experts in these kinds of issues. And the way he talks about this industry, it is at the forefront of everything that's going on in this world, because people are concerned about this. They're wondering, how do I preserve my health? How do I live a life that's worth living? And I like the way Mary Louise said it, create a body that can keep up with your dreams. Right. And every health and wellness company out there is going to tout their product as being the best. Right. They're going to come in and say, we got the best thing, since sliced bread, and you got to use this. But I want to put some context on this, okay? Because when I was introduced to this, I didn't have any interest in getting involved in a multi-level marketing company.
Me neither.
But the context I wanted to put on is that you have been there. You've been involved in several different companies.
Right.
And so it's, I guess that to me is important, because you're talking about how you have explored and tested and looked at so many different things that you've got reasons to say what you're saying right now.
Right, exactly. And I think that's the key point for everybody listening, is that I've looked at a scope of products that spans everything from health food stores to network marketing to totally nutritional organic things, everything you can possibly think of. And again, like you, tried many different network marketing things, mainly for the products, but then with the dream that something could change.
If you want to, like we said, this isn't a sales pitch, but if you want to check out those products, go to Live on Purpose, that should be easy to remember, www.mykyanielife.com. We'll talk a little bit more about that as we come back.
Great.
I've got a great idea.
This is Shay Larson, IdeaOrbit.com, with the World of Ideas Report.
All right, ladies, this one might get your attention, but I think the success of the idea should get anyone's attention. The average woman spends 242 hours looking for her keys in the bottom of her purse over a 20-year period. It might seem like a mild problem, but apparently more than 1 million women are willing to pay for a solution. Sandy Stein was a flight attendant who was looking for an idea that could help her avoid the pending layoffs in her industry. Tired of digging for her keys in her purse, she made a series of simple hooks that a woman can put on the inside of her purse. Her designs ranged from crowns to hearts to just about anything else that is cute and simple. Her first year in business, Sandy sold over 1 million pieces and amassed over 2,000 sales reps. Sandy's simple idea made over $6 million last year. Not bad for a bit of wire to hang your keys by. Congratulations to Sandy Stein for her time-saving idea. Her advice to the world: don't let anybody say you can't.
This is Shay Larson, IdeaOrbit.com, with the World of Ideas Report.
I've got a great idea. Wouldn't you like to know? You probably can't bear it, so I guess I'll have to share it. I thought of it a moment ago.
I don't know the key to success, but the key to failure is trying to please everybody. Bill Cosby.
Welcome back. Mike, I think I cut you off as I jumped in because it almost started to sound like you were here to sell everybody on a product. And I know that you sell products too, okay? and that's fine because it's really up to every individual person whether that's something that they would value. And that's why I invited right at the break for you to just check out the Kyani products on the website, liveonpurpose.mykyanielife, spelled Kyani, liveonpurpose.mykyanielife.com. And you can get all kinds of overviews there. But when I launched into that, I cut you off from sharing an experience that you had as you were embarking on this search to determine, okay, how can I take care of the nutritional side of what I need to do to live on purpose? And so I want to turn that back over to you so that you can finish telling us what happened.
Great. Yeah. So real simply, over many, many years, I finally, last 2008, at the beginning of the year, actually, I started on the first two Kyani products on the Sunrise and the Sunset, and we'll explain these products to you in a minute. But the most miraculous thing happened at the end of 2008. I love those products. They provided me. I knew the minute I started taking them that my nutritional needs were taken care of. But my aches and pains didn't go away. I had plantar fasciitis off and on all the time. I had rheumatoid forming in my left knee, which is very deep, painful, very strong pain. I had sciatica, which is the worst thing, and I wouldn't wish that on anybody. For 8.5 years, I had sciatica.
Now, this is a problem for a runner.
Oh, yeah.
You were running how much?
When I could run marathon training, so 8 to 10 miles a day, 15 to 20 on most Saturdays.
Per day.
Yeah.
So having this kind of pain.
Yeah. There were weeks when I couldn't run. If I went out and ran a 20-miler, my sciatica would be so bad that I'd have to ease myself out of bed, get in the car a certain way, and kind of wiggle into my seat. And I was feeling pretty old, not living my dream. Okay.
So you were a lot older then.
Yeah, this is
than you are now.
Yeah, a lot older, like 20 years older. I was really feeling my age and wondering, what I got to do. And so I stepped up the vigil, and you have intent, and what shows up in your life is what you bring to your life. And what I was reading to myself every day, I always read my goals. I've read that 1 Minute Millionaire and many other books, and I was reading my goals every single morning and every day. And Kyani showed up in my life, and I'm passionate about this product. Yes, I want to sell it to everybody in the world, not to sell it, but so people get the benefit that I got out of it. So I got on all 3 products in October of 2008, and what happened to me was nothing short of a miracle. About 3 weeks into those 3 products taken properly, I'm doing an 8-mile run. I remember specifically the day, beautiful, bright, Hawaiian sunny day, but I'm running along and I'm just thinking to myself, wait a minute, I don't have any pain in my feet. I don't have any pain in my knee. I don't have any pain in my sciatic. I don't have any pain in my neck.
Where's all the pain?
Where's all the pain? And you know what? Since then, I couldn't sit here like this long before. I wouldn't have been able to. And for the last year and a month, or however long it's been, since last November, none of that returned. These are the most phenomenal, life-changing products that I have ever taken myself, and I started putting it in hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of other people with similar results. That's what I love about it. It's not one of those things where one person gets a benefit and another doesn't. It's phenomenal. Every ache and pain in my body left and has not returned. I ran 3 1-mile repeats on a 10-mile run in the summer, 5:49, 5:39, and 5:30. And if that's not you thing, I don't know what is. I haven't been able to run that fast for 20 years. I ran the St. George Marathon fastest I've run in over 10 years at a 3:21 on less training. I've been so busy telling people about Kyani that this year I trained less than I did last year. Last year I ran a 3:45 almost under identical conditions, nothing different about the weather patterns or anything. And this year I ran a 3:21. That's just about a minute per mile faster than I did last year.
How old did you say you are?
I'll be 60 in March.
That's the number.
Right.
Okay.
And yeah, so I ran 7.5 minute miles for 26.2 miles. For an old guy, that's not too shabby. And so, yes, I believe in Kyani products. I talk to them about them to everyone I know. And it's because of that. I put them in my wife, and I watch my wife's life change. I put them in my mother-in-law and watch her life change. She was in bed, 3 heart attacks, high blood pressure, high blood sugar, all those things. And I watched her walk away from them all within 4 months. And she's a normal functioning 82-year-old great-grandmother playing with basketball with my grandkids. What a difference. So that's why I'm passionate about what I've discovered.
And Mike, I knew when I invited you to come onto my show today that you were going to do this. You were going to talk about these products. You're going to become the advocate and almost the evangelist that you are now because of what it's done for you. And when you have that kind of an effect, you really want to share that with other people and help to liberate and empower them to live on purpose as well.
Yeah, that's why it's such a perfect fit with that on purpose thing. The other thing, and this isn't a sales pitch. This is why I do this, because you don't have to take my word for it. You don't have to believe me. You try the products for a month, and if they don't do everything we say, there's 100% no need to return the products, money back guarantee. If they don't work for you in 30 days, you get your money back. And that's what I love, is that they're so powerful that the company can do that.
We could probably do a whole other show about how you've built a business around this. But the short story of that is you're going to be acknowledged on a stage next week in Las Vegas as one of the top producers in this company. Yeah. And you'll receive a new car.
Yeah.
Am I letting the cat out of the bag?
No,
on that?
That's fine. That's fine.
And you've worked hard for this, but here's another part of the story that we haven't really shared yet. Because you've come through, we've talked about the health aspect quite a bit and taking care of the machine, okay, taking care of that body, that miraculous human body that you have. But there's another piece of this, because you've gone through periods in your life where you were at the depths of human experience.
Yeah.
I think you shared with me you were peeking into hell or something along those lines, right?
Yeah.
poor, discouraged, depressed. You've been there too.
Yeah.
I don't know how much of that you want to share, Mike.
Well, let me just say it in a nutshell. I had a business that tanked, and it was a huge business, and we were making millions of dollars, and the whole business went under, and lots of people were affected, and most of them, because I was the head of that company, blame me.
And this wasn't during the current economic recession.
No, this was about 8, 9, 10 years ago.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so it got really bad. People who...
You're everybody's favorite bad guy?
Yeah, like people who I loved and considered great friends were no longer even speaking to me. If I recall walking down the street and having somebody see me and walk across to the other side. And I admit this to you, and I'll say it on the air. When people turn against you, it's the hardest thing there is to deal in life. Especially, I'm a kind of a sensitive person that way, and I'm not a mean businessman who tried to rip off the world. My business failed. That's what happened, and yet I got blamed. And I used to nights after my wife would go to sleep, I would literally bawl. Cry, curled up in a fetal position, cry myself to sleep. I can remember just wondering why I was even alive, why I was even on this earth. And so, from being from there to where I am today, I had to live life on purpose. I had to rebound, and I had to, I told you that little quaint little thing I learned from my friend, but it's really true. He said to me that no matter what you do, good, bad, or indifferent, 10% of people are going to love you, 10% are going to hate you, and 80% don't even care or know what you're doing. And I really had to cling to that for a lot of years. I just had to push forward. And I went from being bankrupt, flat broke, people hating my guts. And what kept me alive was my belief in God, my belief in life, and just that I could rebound, and just some days just getting through the day. And now my life is like off the charts. Like I am alive. I'm living life on purpose to the max. As glorious as that could be, my life has changed around, and that's just happened. It's taken about 8 years, and that's why I love what my life I love my life today. It's full of purpose. It's full of the best things of life. I learned not to go out and be extravagant. I live a very conservative life, even though I'm making more money now than I've ever made in my life. I'm getting, like you said, I drive right now a 1995 Nissan with 170,000 miles on it. But that's all changed. Kyani, just by sharing these products, just by taking them out to the world. All that's changed for me.
So transformation is not only possible, but it actually happened in your life.
And then,
when we come back, I want to bring another perspective to that as we kind of wrap this conversation up.
Great.
This is Kirk Weasler to tell you about morebetterbooks.com. Morebetterbooks.com is where you can find more better books for a more better life. Not only that, let me tell you about some of the very fun and cool select titles on morebetterbooks.com. You'll want to get a copy of The Dog Poop Initiative. This best-smelling book could change your life forever. It's certainly changed the lives of thousands of Boeing employees, as well as school teachers, parents, leaders across the United States and in Israel and in Germany. And you can get your own copy at morebetterbooks.com. Whoa, that's not all. What about The Cookie Thief? This classic tale told in a rhyming format, fully illustrated with very fun hidden messages. Pick up a copy now today on morebetterbooks.com. Other great titles there: Finding Your Pathway to Mastery, Beyond Illusions, Make It Great. These titles are only available on morebetterbooks.com. Go to morebetterbooks.com today and begin to have a more better life and live that life on purpose.
Raising kids is one of the most challenging and rewarding experiences we can have in life. Your children didn't come with an owner's manual, so it's up to you to learn whatever will assist you in your role as a mom or a dad. Join me and my husband, Dr. Paul, for a free weekly discussion about all of the hot topics in parenting. Listen to what others are saying about these calls.
By applying the things I've learned through the Parental Power calls, I'm finally becoming the mom I always thought I would be.
I really like to use Parental Power as kind of like a reference book. So as I have concerns with my parenting, I like to be able to look up on the blog and then listen to whatever podcast seems closely related. So I like the variety of topics, the variety of age groups that are addressed.
I'm on the Parental Power calls as often as I possibly can because I know I'm going to come away with something I can apply to being a parent that very day.
Let us join your parenting team through Parental Power. Just send an email to Dr. Paul at liveonpurposeradio.com to register for the live calls. Or just check us out first through the link at drpaul.org. All of the previous calls are posted on our blog site, where you can also add your own input. Let's team up to start parenting on purpose. I think we'll give a little shout out to Dale Jesse there for the bumper music.
That was awesome.
Phenomenal pianist and guest at Live on Purpose Radio.
All right.
So go find him on the blog. It was a fun interview. So during the break, Mike, I was asking you, what's special about you? What is it about Michael Akagi that you get to have this phenomenal life? And why don't I get to have one? Some of us might be thinking.
Yeah.
What's your response to that?
Well, I think it's really the essence of this show. It's the essence of living life on purpose. It's the essence of life itself is you just get back up and you dust yourself off and you keep on moving forward. You just keep going. And as long as you're willing to do that, the lows don't get quite so low and the highs just keep getting higher. And I know there'll be other things in my life that happen. I'm sure of it. And the key and the secrets to the fountain of youth is exactly that: is to just do what you know you should do. If you really thought about nutrition, if you really thought about exercise, if you really thought about life itself, everybody knows what they're capable of. And the true champion is the one that just keeps dusting themselves off and getting back up and doing life and doing it a little bit better every time you get up. And I think that's what it's all about.
I think what Adam said during the break was good too. He was quoting a line from the movie Rocky Balboa, when Rocky said, "It's not about how hard you can hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and keep getting up."
Yeah.
And that's what makes a true champion. And so as you describe this life that you had, where you got hit pretty darn hard, and you know what? Listeners, as you're listening to this and as you kind of relate to what Mike's talking about here, how's your business doing? How's your investments performing? You know, how are your relationships currently? And if it's not where you want it to be, what if you were to start looking at that as the middle part of an inspiring story? This is something I come back to all the time because every single inspiring story I know, including Mike Akagi, has a hard part in the middle.
Yeah, you bet.
And if you're in the hard part, hey, that might be good news.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, when you look back on it, it is. You know, when you look back on growth in your life and when you learn the most, when I learned absolutely the most of anything I've ever learned in my life, it was when I was at the very edge of hell. When I was down as far as you can go, I discovered who I was. I looked back and I understood. And that's really it. That's really it. And if you look at any great person, they had the lowest of lows. Every single one of them, you know, including Christ himself. I mean, who went lower than that? Nobody.
That's true.
And so I just, you don't like it in the moment. I mean, how could you? But
you don't have to like it.
Yeah. But if you endure it well and you come out the other side and you learn from it, that's the most important thing. So now for me, the vehicle that took me from where I was to where I am right now is definitely Kayani. And in every respect, it's what helped me get back on my feet. It emotionally, it does unbelievable stuff. My tradition in my family, I think, is ADHD and chemical imbalance. And, when you're on Kyone products, all of that goes away. All of it goes away. I've seen amazing ADHD children. I've seen actually a child in their teens suffering from ADHD, terrible at school, yelling, screaming, no friends. And I've watched that little girl come out of that on our products and be a normal functioning human being. Her grades are phenomenal. Social life is blossoming. No more Ritalin to chop off her highs and lows. Just phenomenal. I could tell you hundreds of miraculous stories, but what I think I want to say to everybody is this is not a sales pitch for me. I feel in many ways like I'm a doctor. I'm going out bringing people nutritional products that cause the body to function the way God intended to function, and watch what happens when you're on our products. And then people purchase those products. So just like a doctor, you're able to make money off of that. And this company, the price on our products is the most unbelievably priced products I've ever seen in a network marketing.
Now that could mean a lot of things, Mike.
They're unbelievably low. Like
Gotcha.
as you know, Dr. Paul, the owners of this company are billionaires, and they started the company to pay back to the world what they've gotten. And so it's totally different. The products are priced. If you talk about our Sunrise, which is wild Alaskan blueberry based juice drink that has all the nutrition anybody needs in 1 ounce a day. I'm a runner, 1.5 years on this product. Never have to take anything else. 1 ounce a day. Has all the minerals, all the vitamins, all the micronutrients, the antioxidants the body needs. The distributor cost on that is $32 a month for a full month supply. It's crazy.
When you compare it to, what would you compare it to? Other multivitamin supplements and things like that. And I've seen some of those that can become enormously expensive.
$100+ a month easily. Yeah. And then, so that's our first product. The second product is omega-3s based on wild Alaskan salmon, mixed with the new vitamin E tocotrienols. That product can bring down blood pressure, it can bring down blood sugar levels, it can increase brain function, helps hydrate the skin from within. Talk about youthing and anti-aging. Both of those products are phenomenal at that, giving the body everything it needs to perform. But the final product, the Nitro FX for me, is the most powerful product there is. Research, if you want to do research and check this out, at the cellular level, your body produces nitric oxide. And if you go to any website about health, you go to anything with weightlifters, bodybuilders, it's all about nitric oxide. It is the element, the key molecule of the body, the one that causes every cell and system in your body to function properly. Our Nitro FX is simply a multi-million-dollar in development extract of noni plant. It doesn't taste anything like noni juice. It's
kind of minty, actually.
And it's actually really good. And you just put it under your tongue, just a few drops under your tongue, and your body starts producing nitric oxide, your body's own, and you can't OD on the stuff. You could drink the whole bottle. We were just talking to a lady today that put it in her 5-year-old grandson, and miraculous stuff. It causes the body to produce its own nitric oxide, and it will never produce more nitric oxide than it needs. And that is what's responsible for all of the things that we said. When you put
what took away the pain for you.
It's an anti-inflammatory and a vasodilator. That combination is more powerful than anything else. Vasodilation takes your circulation. It's the opposite of hardening of the arteries. When your heart pumps, your blood circulates.
It gets the good stuff out to where it needs to be.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, this is the one, incidentally, that is based on Nobel Prize-winning research.
Right. Yeah, go Google nitric oxide, and you will be astounded. 97,000 clinical studies out there that prove what it does for the body. And what I love, once again, I'm going to come back to, is because the company has money, because it's different, a 30-day money-back guarantee. You don't have to take our word for it. You try the products. If they don't work, you get your money back. Nobody else does that. And what I really want to say to people is, I've just gone out and shared the products with people. I don't beat people up on the business. I don't say you're going to be a millionaire or any nonsense like that. I'm just like everybody listening. I'm a normal, everyday school teacher who's been on a vigil to find products that really work and help the body youth, help the body grow younger every day. I feel better right now. I'll be 60 in March. I feel better right now than I have felt in 25, 30 years. It's been the most phenomenal experience of my life.
And I want to underscore what you just said about normal. Okay? Now, I don't know that I'd describe you as normal, Mike, but here's what catches my attention. Here's a guy who is a lot like me. Okay? And you know my brother.
Yeah.
You guys were neighbors in Midway. And when he came and listened to you speak once about some of the success you're having now in this company, he's like, oh, that's great that Mike found something that's working for him now. Because the other stuff, not so much, right?
Yeah, right.
And we all go through these experiences in life where we have a lot of trial and error, and you're no different from them. When I asked earlier, what's special about you? The special thing about you is that you have a commitment to be a champion and to get up and to live on purpose. But other than that, you got the same stuff that everybody else has.
Yeah.
You're the same carbon-based life form that I am. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so my passion as we have this conversation is to bring that possibility to everyone who's listening to this program. Mm-hmm. And whether you do that through the vehicle that Mike Akagi has chosen, which is Kayani, a phenomenal company that I myself have chosen to be associated with because of the integrity, or you choose some other way, it doesn't matter. That's your decision. That's your choice. But whatever you do, go out there and live on purpose and realize that the hard parts are just the middle part of an inspiring story.
Yeah, that's what I would end with too, is that possibility. Everybody's got it. It's sitting right in front of you. Live life on purpose.
You have everything you need to do that. Thank you, Mike Akagi.
Thank you, Dr. Paul.
For being here today. Everybody go out there and live on purpose.